Hey, what's up everyone? Leland with Benchmark Vehicles, and we are here and we're going to talk about this 2025 Mercedes Sprinter 170. This is actually the first 2025 we've done here at Benchmark, and there was quite a bit of a production delay. If you were ordering a 2025 van at the end of 2024, beginning of 25, it didn't come with the new camera system. You can see the camera is now on the dash, right on the windshield here. There's a slightly different steering wheel. The head unit display is a little bit different, so couple fun improvements on the 25s. So we held all of our orders for the 2025 vans until that new camera system was back online and back into production, which it now is. So all the vans that we have rolling in for the rest of the year will have the nice 360 camera system. We did on this van the Flatline Van Company, so a local Portland company, their front bumper, which I really liked when I first saw it. It is a bit more integrated than some of the other products we've installed in the past. Probably my favorite feature of their bumper is how we remove all of the lower plastic here, and this is right where the DEF tank is. So the diesel exhaust fluid tank is right behind this big skid plate. So you have a nice beefy attachment point here that bolts onto the winch cradle, and it protects that DEF tank here, and it also just lifts up the front end. So it really brings the front of the van up, you know, without the suspension doing any additional work. It's just the line of the bumper that gives you that little bit better ground clearance, a little bit better departure angle. And overall, just like it fits the car really well. We've got squadrons that are integrated into the bumper, which is cool. You can also still do a factory fog replacement with squadrons. So you could have 4 squadrons up front. There's tow hooks on it. We ended up using their Fairlead and winch hook. And also there's a new radar housing for the 2025 radars for the Distronic system, which has changed since the 24 model to go with the new camera system. So that's all updated and integrated here. This bumper houses a Warn VR12S winch, couple Bajas on the grill, a little Line-X on the fender and the spoiler here, and then we'll move down the back of the van. So let's take a look. Got new product alert here. So this is the Al Van's B2 Pro. So Al took the B2 and the Sherpa, they combined it, and this is the result. It's pretty cool. It has the grid that you see on the Sherpa above, but still the structure and the load capacity of the B2. So we mounted a mini monster box on here, and there's still a ton of room for, you could do one-up bike racks on here, shovels, you could do an additional gear tray. So it just gives you a bit more versatility. We're installing a lot of these now. They're pretty awesome. Al Van's spare tire carrier ladder as well, Van Compass rear tug step bumper, and Paragon roof rack up top with the load lighting and Roam Adventure boxes. So a lot of good storage on the back of this van. We've got kind of the rear packed full of goodies for the customers that are picking up in a couple weeks. And yeah, we're cranking them out here. So this one's pretty cool. Again, you know, big garage, bug screens here we all make in-house with our soft storage bags. All right, so inside this Sprinter van, we've got right in the front quarters here, the living quarters, Scopima 86 centimeter bench to bed seat. So this is a bifold bench and bed. So it folds forward with the seat spun around, the driver's seat spun around, that is. We get about 6 feet of leg room in here. So it's a good space for an extra adult, little kid. 2 belted seats on here, really comfortable, very nicely put together, and a little bit of storage below. We have a safe below the seat. We did a nice walnut table, which has been, you know, pretty common for us the last, like, probably 8 vans. We've been doing the walnut accent pieces in here. On the galley, we did a reduced depth galley on here. So a lot of the time you'll see when we have galleys that come out into the van, you have a little bit more of a constricted passageway. This is a nice way to really open up the front of the van. So if you're considering extended galley, more storage space, or more flow space, more space to move around, it's a good thing to approach during our design meetings and decide on. We can always do an additional countertop, so fold up table here, give you that additional countertop space. The induction cooktop is flush mounted, so you could always throw a silicone cutting board down on here and use this as additional prep space. And of course, on the other side of the van, we've got a big countertop space here, so you can set your bag of groceries on here, load the fridge, pack up the upper cabinets. We've got a nice little microwave tucked away in here as well. And of course our control panel in the back panel here. So tank monitors, breakers, on-off switches, battery switches, power inverter, everything is centrally located there. 110 outlets on the sides of each galley, so we've got plenty of space to plug in. And of course our lighting pads up top, so all of our lights are zoned, so we've got multiple zones, under cabinet and accent lighting, so you really can kind of set the mood, bring down the light when you don't need it fully bright in here. Back of the van here, big bed, so just about a queen size bed in here. We've got our 28-inch shower, so this is the smallest shower we do. We still have a room for a toilet in here, so we've got the Labeo dry flush, nice fixtures in here, track for hanging gear, shower shelf. There's quite a bit that we've done in this van that's come together really well. These particular customers sent us just kind of their own knives and forks, so we just made a nice little organizer for them. Not every van has the full custom drawer inserts, but we've prepared these clients to just be able to drop in whatever they want. There's anti-slip mats in here, and we do those mats in all of the casework. So upper cabinetry has them, under the sink, there's a little trash can as well. Mid-height cabinet, we did a Nespresso machine here, and a Vitamix blender below. And again, these are really cool. We've got our step, so you can hop up into bed. It's out of the way. You don't have to deal with a ladder. Makes it a little bit easier. These things are stout. They can hold a few hundred pounds easily. A little quick release button here to close it. And then of course you've got a pass through into the garage. Closing out on the new steering wheel, we also have a digital rear view mirror in this van. And like I mentioned before, the new camera system is on the front, so lower down, it gives you a much better perspective of the road in front of you, which is nice. A little bit different readout on the LED screen here, so it's just a slightly more crisp, clear overall presentation. Obviously the shape, the size is the same as it's been since 2019, but you definitely get a nicer just readout on the screen here, which is cool. So all your different settings are in place, and you can view the van, control different functions of the van there. For more components that we've put into this build, so down here we've got a Switch Pros 8-pack, and I like to use the Switch Pros. You can operate them obviously when the van is running or when the van is off via Bluetooth app. So you can control exterior lighting, air compressor, if you have a locker installed. This is all activated through this switch pack here. We also used our camp mode switches here for audio, so we can flip these switches. We've got a different tuning profile for the camp mode, which is green, versus the run mode, which is red. So you can listen to music when the van times out and goes off. You play it directly through the house system. And also on here we've got a throttle positioning sensor, so this is cool. This is the IO pedal, and what this does is when you press down on the gas pedal, it makes the responsiveness of the motor much more pronounced. So you can turn it all the way down, you can have it on like an eco sort of traffic mode, performance mode, and then extreme performance mode. It's also cool with this module, it has a high idle. So 2025 service bulletin from Mercedes warned all of us builders, all of the builders in the Expert Upfitter network, that you cannot have anybody idle their vans for longer than 10 minutes. What that does is it clogs up the DPF system, it will throw codes, it could throw your van into limp mode. So you really don't want to idle these vans for very long to charge your house system. So you can get a little bit more safe idle charge out of a high idle. And what this IO pedal does is you can log onto the app, set a 30-minute runtime and an 1800 RPM idle, and that's going to burn a little bit hotter, so emissions are going to release from the engine through the DPF system and not be as likely to clog up the system. If you were to idle at, say, 700, which is about what a Sprinter idles at, 750 RPMs, if you let that sit and idle for 30 minutes, 45 minutes to charge your house system, you're going to end up running into issues with the DPF system, which requires a dealer visit. So something to avoid there. We're including all of these in our builds. They're inexpensive, they're wireless. There's a little bit of communication with the gas pedal, but that is it. So really nice feature on there, just to help you have a better experience.